Most people will refer to Pilates as core strengthening, but a lot of people still think that the core is about crunching abs. So this is the workout for you, just to shatter that myth. So we're going to start, if you need to, in fact, just go and get one, a bath towel for the back of your head, as we're going to use it in some of our exercises. But we're going to take a lie down onto your back and just getting yourself settled in nice and long along the length of the mat surface that you're on. Allow your arms to open out and palms to face up towards the ceiling. So this is an important thing, is to feel the back of the neck nice and long. We're going to start with a pelvic tilt, so just rolling the pelvis backward and the pelvis forward. So part of your core muscles are your pelvic floor muscles. So this is a great way of warming them up. As you tilt backwards, your muscles will be shortening. As you tilt forward, the muscles will be lengthening. And then we're going to do that to the left and the right tilting. So as we go over to one side, half of the pelvic floor will be contracting, the other one will be lengthening. And you can get the picture. There's no way that you can isolate one muscle group over another, because everything works together in some sort of coordination, some orchestration. So try and get away from that idea of just one muscle being the muscle group you have to work. Let's take it now on a diagonal angle. So we're going to go back into the left hip and forward to the right sit bone. And as we're doing this, you're going to start to feel, oh, that's a little bit different activation than it is on the one side. And then do the same on the diagonal right back and left forward. And in your own body, you may notice things feel a little different, maybe a little easier, maybe a little bit more challenging. So all of these are waking up the group of muscles, which are about 15 muscles at the base of your pelvis. And then coming back again, we're going to finish with a circle. So rolling around, let's do 3 circles in each way. And you really want to feel like you're getting all of the muscles at the lower part of the body working. The muscles here around the top half of your pelvis are working. So these are your deeper abdominals, and then starting to come into some of the obliques. Go the opposite way. I think I did more than 3, so that's okay. So this is core workout, right? So this is why we often start classes on our back and just getting things working. And then from here, we're going to go into a knee opening out to the side. So just falling the leg out to the side. Remember to keep the other leg nice and steady, and then bringing that leg back in. So the core works on your breathing, it works on stabilizing, and it works on moving you. So lots of functions, and the joy is that it can actually happen at all times. So all 3 functions could be happening at once. So again, it's not just I do it for breathing or just for stability or just for mobility. It is all 3 actions. All right, holding that there, we'll bring the knees up into the air. So to bring the 2 legs into the air, you are going to have good control through the front, the sides, and the back of your body. So making sure that you are not overly pushing your belly up and arching into your back, and then lowering your legs back down. Now, this is a great way to start to train your body to make sure that you can hold your legs up in the air. When your thighs are in a perpendicular position with your hips and your shins are at a right angle, this puts a lot of stress on this muscle here at the front of the leg, the quadricep. Put your feet back to the ground. So if you're noticing that you overgrip through the front of the hip, let's bring the knees back up again. Then it's always my suggestion to just soften the feet down, and you can still keep the weight of the legs up, still get good control and tone and strength around your abdominals, and then lowering your feet back down, which is all going to be supporting your core. So let's grab that towel and we're going to place it behind the back of the head. And the reason we're doing that is because I want the head to be slightly lifted forward, so that you've got the feeling of just a slight nod in your neck. Now, for some people, just lying flat on the floor, it's not good enough. That's why the towel is there. But even if you are with a good range, this is going to be beneficial. So we'll go again with the legs coming up into the air. And the reason I've done the towel behind me is because as I straighten my right leg away from me, I want to feel like the back of the head is pressing gently into the towel, and then pull the knee back in. And then the other leg is going to slide forward and then bringing it back again. So we're alternating the legs over. Now, I did mention that you could have your foot relaxed, so your feet down. So as you're stretching away, you may find that you can just relax the leg as it comes back in again, and then maybe your leg is going a little lower. So it's up to you. If you can lower your leg even lower to the ground without causing stress at your neck area, then go ahead and do that. It's always good to challenge your body, but remembering that your setup could always be, again, more of a 45-degree angle. That's a great place to train yourself into the work that we're after. Last time, as we send our leg out towards the left and then bringing everything back and onto the floor again. So we have a break in between our sets. And then we're going to go up and we're going to add on. So from here, we're going to go and take our feet low, and you're going to close your knees together. And we're going to make a circle. So we'll go to the left side, circling around over towards the right, and keep that circle direction going. So this is similar to what we were doing with our pelvic movement in the beginning, but keeping the legs in the air is going to put on just a little bit more weight and tension for your deeper core muscles to stabilize. Hold at the top and then go in the opposite direction. So maybe this feels really easy for you. Maybe it's quite a challenge. Everyone is going to feel slightly different in their bodies. And the more you do things, the easier it becomes. All right, keeping the legs up in the air as they are, raise the arms towards the ceiling, settle the shoulders and send the palms to face in towards each other. We're going to do the leg circle again. So we're going to take the legs around. We'll just do 3 times around in each direction, keeping your hands steady as though you were holding something between them. And you may notice that as soon as the arms are up away from the ground, switch sides, that you will feel there's a lot more work happening around between your ribs and your pelvis. So taking a base of support away from the ground increases your core challenge, and then bringing everything all the way back and resting towards the floor. So we're going to go onto your side now. You don't need the cushion for this one. And prop yourself up so that you have your elbow underneath your shoulder position, and we're going to send the top leg long. Bottom knee is going to stay bent for now. I like to pull the elbow in a tiny bit closer because as I come up, I'm going to be balancing on shoulder and elbow position, and then lowering yourself back down. So make sure you're comfortable. Once you are, we're going to raise our top arm with us. So we're going to lift up and we're going to lower down. So we're going to go for a set of 5, lift and lower. So in this position, you want to feel the back of the head, pelvis, and foot all in a line with each other. And lifting 4. And then last one, we're going to hold and lift up number 5. Pause with everything where it is. Top leg is going up and down for 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's easier for me to count like this, and then coming back down. We've got one more variation to go. Coming up, arm to the ceiling. From here, we're going to wrap around, send the arm through the gap, and then back up towards the side. So you may think of this as maybe a shoulder exercise. Maybe you think of it as a glute exercise. But let me tell you, this is a core exercise. And then one more time as you thread yourself through, and then back to your start, and then lowering yourself all the way down. I'm just going to spin around to face the other way. And as we do, we find that set up again. So you want to have your elbow just underneath your shoulder position. Nice long line through the back of the body. So do the first one just as a little test. Make sure you're comfortable with where you're at so you can always adjust as you need to. So from here we go. 5 times. We raise the arm and the hips and then bring everything back down. And coming sideways. So with this one, it's tempting, I know, to look down, but see if you can keep your eyes looking forward. We've got 2 more. We're also checking that the shoulder hasn't popped forward or slipped back. And then last one, hold the position up. Keep everything steady. Float the top leg for 5, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to miss out on these ones. 5, and then coming back down. Our final one is our little thread of the needle. So we go back up to the top again, and then threading the arm through and back towards your side. So in order to get your ribs to twist around, now the bigger muscles of the abdominals are coming into play. So your external obliques and your internal obliques are helping to move your ribs around. 2 more times, threading through. And then final one, take it to the back to the side, and all the way down. From here, we're going to go onto your hands and knees. I need to take my hair out of the way, otherwise I'm going to explode with heat. So we're going to have our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. So in this position, again, such a basic core exercise that we need to find the foundation of your movement. It's really bad if you slop down through the shoulders and drop your head. That's not a great position to be in. So you want to feel like you're pushing the floor away from you, feeling the back of the head floating up nice and easy towards the ceiling, ensuring you've got your lower back curve in its right position. And then the space of your hands is important. So the middle part of your index and thumb finger should line up with the crease where your arm is meeting the side of your body. So once you've got it in that position, for some people this might just be enough holding the shape of where you're at. So we're going to go with an opposite arm and leg slide. So reaching one leg back behind you and the other arm forward in front, and then returning everything again and switching sides. So as you're doing this movement, it should look like you still have four limbs on the floor, which means the height of your body is staying the same. You haven't collapsed in the shoulder. You haven't dropped off to the side of one hip. And remembering that the leg and the arm are reaching forward and backward. We're not reaching up towards the ceiling. And again, reaching opposite sides. Now, as I talk, I always forget which arm and leg I used first. And I've lost count, to be fair. So I'm going to go one more because I feel like that might be even. If it wasn't, it's okay. You just make yourself even. So holding your position here, keep the hands where they are and send one leg out into a plank position, which means you're going to tuck your toes under and then send the other leg out, hold, and then fold your first knee under and then the second knee under, and then switching sides. Now, if you're finding that holding the plank as you go to the second leg is too much, then just do a single leg variation, so where you just straighten the leg out and then bring it back in. But of course, building strength, keeping the height of the body the same, making sure belly doesn't sag down to the floor, you'll feel immediately, oh wow, as soon as the two legs go out, there's a lot more work that I have to engage around my body to support. Now, I do not overly engage anything, which means I don't put muscles on consciously. My muscles turn on because of what I'm asking my body to do. This should be our last round, and then bringing everything back. Staying here, we take it to the next level where we're going to take our same arm and our same leg out, which means you're going to send your weight a little over towards one side and then reach the limbs away from each other and then bring everything back in. And again, sending arm and leg out and returning back. So this is a balance challenge, but again, you have to have good control around your spine, which is your core, in order to be able to do these leans without flipping over, without sinking down. And again, one more time to each side, reaching out long and drawing yourself back. And then final one out long and bringing it back. All right, we take it to the next level. We go out with our legs. This time, instead of being in a plank with the legs in horizontal line, I'd like you to take your legs a little wider so you're more towards the corner edges of your mat. From here, you're going to send just your left arm forward and then bring it back. And then just your right and bring it back. Go another 2 times to each side, feeling the weight distributing towards the side that's staying on the mat. Last one in each direction. And then hold yourself here. Let's jump your feet back into the center. I'm going to come down towards the floor nice and slowly, lowering your body to the mat and resting yourself down. So from here, we'll put hands underneath forehead. Take a breath in, and then breathing out, begin to just lift the front of the chest away from the floor. So in this shape, make sure your neck has not tilted back. So you want to feel nice and long at the back of the neck and at the front of the neck, and then lowering your body back to the mat surface. And then repeating, lifting the front of the chest bone up, and then lowering down. We'll do one more like that, just as a nice easy warm-up through our upper body. So again, you're going to ask, why on earth is this a core exercise? Well, you have to hold your body steady in order for you to not over-recruit your back muscles. Keep the hands attached to the forehead now, And again, bringing everything away from the floor and lowering yourself down. And 2 more times. And as soon as you have those hands lifted from the mat, you're going to realize, wow, that's a lot of work that my body has to do again in order to support the weight of my body lifting up. From here, we're going to send the hands to the back of the head, lace your fingers, and one more time pressing yourself up and away from the floor, and then lowering back down. So in this variation, we're just moving in our upper back. We're not letting our lower ribs leave the ground. One more time as we bring everything up, and then lower everything back to the mat surface. From here, let's push you back up onto an all fours position, and we'll finish just with a little stretch of our legs. So tucking the toes under and then stretching yourself towards the ceiling. I'm going to mimic bear in a down dog shape. So just getting a lovely long line through the backs of the legs. Bend into one knee so that you get a good stretch down one leg, and then switch up onto your toes and bend into the other leg. Heels sinking to the mat. Lift and drop. So a little pedaling out of your feet. You can do this faster, you can do it slower, just giving you a great release through the back of your body. All right, one more time to each side. And then bringing yourself all the way back down again. I think Bear knows that it's already the end of our session because he's ready to be in my lap. So there you go. We moved in all planes of movement. We didn't really curl our head forward on anything, but I hope you feel strong, toned, and supported between the area of your ribs and your pelvis. And just knowing that your core is not just this lovely six-pack muscle at the front, but it's muscles that are from the deepest, deepest part of us, stabilizing our spine, moving our spine, and helping us to breathe. Of course, the layers do go out further, and yes, the six-pack is a core muscle, of course it is, but it's not the only one. So make sure that you use variety in your workouts to make sure that you're getting good, strong strength around that area. Well, remember, if you enjoyed today's session, like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to share it along. It always helps the algorithm with YouTube. And we look forward to seeing you again in another one soon. Bye.